Hello everybody, I'm Griffin Gamer. Today we're going to be doing a creative tutorial, well basically a creative tutorial, that's basically what it's going to be. But, yeah, I'm just going to be working on some of the maps I have, because I have a lot of things to work on in creative, because map making takes a while. But, yeah. So this is kind of where I'm gonna like build some of the more complex things I've used in some of my other maps that you guys might have seen me play. I honestly don't know if I showed you guys my maps on stream other than the fashion show one. Well, if not, you're gonna see them now. But I have some maps that are timed with events. I have tycoons. I have zombies maps, stuff like that. I have some that you have. I also have figured out something that basically allows you to make it so that if you eliminate certain things, once you've eliminated all of them, it ends the game. It's confusing. This one I made today, so I'm gonna show the one that has the most complexity is probably my zombies map. So yeah. This is where this backbling used to be a little bit darker. It's close enough. It's the closest backbling I'll get without using the real one. So, trying to make it fashion show compatible. Okay. So this is... well, I'll just use this to show you. So yeah, this is my map. Pretty large. Some of the things on it are kind of just things I've added for ease of access when I'm testing stuff, like the speed pads on the outside, mobility things like those bouncers down there. Those are all just ease of access type things. They're like required to make the map work. But then like things like this tower right here, they are required. So this tower is how I make it so in here, this is like the final boss fight area. It's meant to be once you've destroyed all of these sentries, it like brings down these force fields here, so that then you can, get to the end and in the game if you want. That's what that button there does. So the way I make it so that all those sentries, once they're all eliminated, it ends is over. Let me turn down my flight speed. Yeah. Over here, you have these two cart spawners, as you can see. They have traps on each, and basically, depending on which sentry you destroy, one of these trick tiles will be activated. And normally, if you just have the trick tiles and just make it so that, like what I did, the cart falls all the way down once they're all activated, it won't work. Because carts don't recognize that the tile's been disabled until the cart itself has been damaged. It's like damaging the cart is like giving it an update to what's happened in the game type of thing. So because of that, that's why I have all these traps. So that then, once they get hit by the traps, if this trick tile's gone when they get hit, they'll fall down. If that trap wasn't there, they would not fall down, they'd just stay there. So that's why I've made that. And I've made it, and luckily, if they fell straight down, the traps wouldn't be able to activate in enough time to completely destroy the cart. So, yeah. So that's how you program something like that. It's pretty easy. And hi. Luckily, with my second monitor, I can read chat. So, hi. I'm pretty sure it says you're still watching. Okay, what else? Oh. Let's see. Right here, this is the system I have to make it so if you were to kill a zombie, this is my system I have that transfers coins, score into coins. This is how you use for something where you can't just give coins on elimination. So zombies, sentries, anything like that, this is how you do it. Basically what it has is these two triggers are constantly activating each other, and when they're activating each other, they're also activating these attribute triggers. And these attribute triggers basically, they only get triggered when someone has a minimum of 1 score. And then if they have a minimum of 1 score, it will then grant them however many coins you put in there. And these things, once those things activate, they remove 1 score from you, so you aren't just getting infinite coins. So with this whole system combined, yeah, you get it. And you could make it, if you want it to be more efficient, have like more triggers or something. I don't know, but you can do things to make it more efficient, like make it so all of these things are duplicated, but some are only activated at certain. It's a confusing process. I just use this. Also, if any of you are on my friends list and want to make something like this, you can simply just come over, copy everything, and bring it over to your map. Also, the way that I've activated this is at the start of the game, you're in this mutator zone, which then when you enter it, it transmits on one of these 4 channels that would activate it, therefore making it so that currently it only works for up to 4 people, which is why this is a 4-player game. But with each of these things activating, each person can get their own coin. Can gain coins. Of course, the less players there are, more of these get activated by the player. Therefore, you can basically have it to where you're like gaining double as fast if you've activated 2 of the mutators. Yeah, you get it. So that's my process for that. This thing is just your starting weapons, all that. I have a lot of trick tiles around for breaking down walls and stuff, because this is modeled after Call of Duty. I actually forgot to do something here. Where's disable actor use? Yes, do. Okay. Sorry, I just never have gotten around to fixing that. So, yeah, this is like the whole map. Let's see, disable after use, disable after. Where's the... Okay, so you can basically put as many of these as you want. Basically, you put the trick tile down on the wall you want destroyed. You then set it so that it doesn't get activated player contact. You put a conditional button with what you want them to have to pay to break down the wall. Then you make it transmit on a channel, and then the trick tile you have, when it receives that signal, it will break. So as you can see, I have it to where trigger and receiving from channel 35, trigger and player contact off. So these are all of the things I've changed. Then over here, the things you change on this is you make it whatever the display icon or alt display. Don't worry about that, but disable after use you probably want to have on. Key items required is how many of whatever item you dropped in front of it you want them to have to pay. Then it transmits on that channel 35 to break this. The supply drops, I've gotten them through glitch ways that aren't bannable but are hard to do. You can't do it without doing the glitch, so I'm not going to go into that. This is basically like my mystery box type of thing. What it does is, when activated, it'll transmit on channel 9, and then channel 9 down here goes to this thing. This thing here, go Haver. Can I make it randomized? If I can make it randomized, that'd be great. Ah, yes. Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot I did that. So basically what that does is when you press that button, it activates this sequencer, which activates that trigger a couple seconds after, like about a second after you've clicked the button. And first, when you initially click that button, it cycles this wheel of guns to a completely random weapon item thing. And then once the sequencer reaches here, it will then grant that item. Or it's the opposite way around. I don't remember, but it's something like that. Yeah. So that's the mystery box thing. You can put as many weapons as you want in there. So that's very useful. I have ammo laid around the map, because I decided to make it where you have to have ammo. And then here, these are my like timer and UI messages. This is how I've done the wave system. It's very simple. It's basically at the beginning of the game, a 5-minute timer starts. And basically, first at the beginning of the game, there's some initial zombie spawners that are activated. Then once that 5-minute counter reaches 0, it will then activate another 5-minute counter and activate whatever zombies you want to be in the next wave. And you can bring that process on as many channels as you have remaining. But you don't forget you need channels for other things. And one thing that I've done that I highly suggest if you're planning on making any complex map is having a large sign somewhere in the map with the number of channels you've used. So this one has 45, which means I've used channels 1 up to 45, and then I've also used channels 100 to 113. That's how I know that. That's basically my way of making sure I don't accidentally reuse a channel and then cause bad things to happen on my map. I definitely would recommend doing that. Oh yeah. This is like my very complicated teleporter that doesn't need to be complicated. But yeah, first pressing this button will open this door using that lock device I have here. Then over here, you have 2 of these. I kind of wanted to model it after like some sort of Star Trek type of thing, because why not? So I can I can start the game and show you guys, but most of you guys probably already know what it looks like. Okay, but that has a total of 2. You press this button, and I've made it so that it activates both of them. I've also made a little failsafe in it because you kind of need one. Basically, if someone were to activate the teleporter down on this side, then the side up here, the buttons that activate this one get disabled so that only one side can teleport at a time, so that people don't pay to teleport and then get teleported back down, which would basically be them wasting their money. So you don't want that. Then I have like a little shop up here, which you don't need to have. You can just leave it on the randomizer. I just added it for ease of access to stuff. You can use things like this grind power-up, damage amplifiers, stuff like that to create your own kind of boss battle. So I have very buffed zombies spawn in the middle that have okay spawn rate, and basically you have like icy feet kind of thing. And over here I have other glitched weapons that you guys don't need to worry about. They don't really apply to anything. And I've made this thing so that basically based on what wave it is, you'll be able to do certain boss fights. So like if you get one wave down, then you can go over to this boss fight and do it. Which this one is like a ranged boss, which is, if you aren't properly equipped, it's bad. I've seen people who think it's super easy die in one shot from it, so yeah. Then I've also made another one. Also these class selectors you see over here, you can use that to make your own like custom classes. Like because mine's based off of Call of Duty, I have something kind of like Juggernaut and like Double Tap, things like that. Which are things in Call of Duty, if you didn't know, for the Call of Duty zombies. So you have things like that, and then you can also make like rewards and stuff for after beating the boss fight. That's why my supply drops are there. It's kind of like a reward for beating it. Then over here, I actually have, like at the end, you get two different classes. You can switch between them at any time. One is like a super health buffed person. The other one is you have tons of abilities that you can do, like low gravity, instant reload, things like that, but you don't have much health, but you do have a lot of shield, but you have to then go gain that shield by killing zombies. And then I've just recently added it to where when you walk into them, you get teleported to like this room. Because I'm running out of channels, I've been kind of sparingly using stuff like this because I only have 10,000 memory left. Actually 9,000. But like you can then press this button to get extra buffs added to your buff. It actually switches your class, which is why I have them in separate rooms. But it still works. You just have to be very careful about how you use stuff like that. And based on what type of mobility you want, if you want people to be launch padding around everywhere, you have to make sure to create like barriers and stuff to make sure they don't fly out of your map or fly out of the designated play area, which is why everything is enclosed. Also, don't use ruined, like don't use old things like this. I've only used some types, because there's certain types that if you use them, you can actually crouch through certain parts of it, and you don't want that happening. I don't actually know why that's happening. Okay. Things like this are just completely for like admin testing. I've added something that makes it really easy for me to admin test over here. Basically, these spawn pads you can activate, and they're primary ones, so you're guaranteed to spawn on it if it's activated. When you spawn, coins right there, launch pad to get you around the map. So like, you'd either take the launch pad or take this, and then that'd allow you to like glide anywhere you want type of thing. And then over here I have like, yeah, I've done a lot of admin things. Then this is my final boss battle over here. I'm still working on it, but how it's still a work in progress. But how it's supposed to work is you have these zombies here that spawn on either side coming at you. This is meant to be a 4-player boss fight. You have 2 players fending off the zombies, and then the other 2 players are focusing the sentries down there. These trick tiles are for once you win, you kind of like fall down and, you know, get pushed out there to the GG, which I spent little to no effort on. So, yeah, you can do a lot if you just have to make sure channels do certain things, and I guarantee you, you're going to lose. Your map isn't going to be that good if you don't have one of these signs with all the channels on them. Before I figured out to use that sign with channels, I had made my fashion show map. My fashion show map probably uses 90 channels, and I have no idea which channels I haven't used. So therefore, I can basically only use 90 channels instead of the 150 that you normally have. So I made that mistake. Don't want you guys making that mistake too. But this map here, although it's less complicated channel wise, it's a lot bigger. So you have to keep in mind memory. Don't put too many things you don't need, or you'll run out of memory and you won't have space for the things you do need. Also, if you're planning on making like a creative fashion show map, if you're also doing YouTube and you want to do things like that, then depending on what you want, if you also, just so you guys know, I do basically the equivalent of commissions. So if you want me to make you a map, just let me know. But you do have to pay V-Bucks for it. So yeah. But this is still a work in progress, as you can see by how half of it is wood, half of it isn't. We're ML Vaguely and I are in the process of changing it into this type, which is a lot less memory. So once we've completely finished changing that, we'll have more memory to use. So if you're just planning on doing a stage type thing, these bombs you don't need. It was my attempt at something that failed miserably. How much do space use? Oh, yeah. But yeah, you have like a stage here with a button that they can use to ready up, so that then this field goes down so you can see them when you're judging on the other side. Buttons to like activate certain things. This one is a lot more confusing than like this is not a simple fashion show map. There's different levels of complexity for like fashion shows. Mine is probably the most complex you can get. But then like over here, this is actually my glider section. You're held in position by a barrier, and you have a geyser down there keeping you up, and then when you deploy a glider, you're standing perfectly still. The judge sitting right here has a perfect view of your glider, and if they want to see the top of it, they just walk up here with the top, you know? There's some things on some creative maps that I just haven't been willing to spend the effort to go find out, but there's some thing you can do with a mutator zone to make it so that everyone in a certain area gets teleported instead of it just being, you know, the range of that rift. I don't know how to do it. I'll figure it out at some point, but it isn't like something you can make it to where it's like enabled on touch, and instead you make it 3 meters or something like you can do for power-ups. Doesn't work like that, sadly. I have a system to give people like judge or contestant, which is kind of down here. You kind of just this rift switches you to the class of the contestant and teleports you to the contestant area. This one, only one person can walk through. It switches them to the judge. Well, they walk through it. The rift now, if I were to go back down, should be deactivated. See, completely deactivated. Can't walk through. Then the judge would then be up here while this trick tile activates, because I have some UI messages I want to do before the game starts, so that's why I have the trick tiles there, just kind of for timing sake. Gives you damage amplifier, switches your class, you get pushed down here. This thing is kind of just to hold you in place while that thing activates and everything. It's just kind of, and it's also like a barrier to prevent that thing from seeing you when you're over there and being annoying with UI messages. So that's what that's for. Then you get put over here, you can judge gliders. There's a button somewhere you can press that basically activates that. This map, I made it, and I'm confused. So that shows how complex it is. So unless you really know a lot about creative, have help, and you have help from other people who are good at creative. Like I had help from Emma Legley making this one, that's why it has both of our names on it. And we also have a lot of entertainment things because we have all the essentials done, so we were able to do entertainment-wise things. Like this thing here, I don't know why you wanted it, but you know, it's a thing so you can just kind of like, you know, walk around in the air. So, yeah. Also, I'd suggest putting spectator areas, things like that. Make it so that judging is always fun, I'll guarantee you that, but being a contestant, it can sometimes get boring, so you want to have things they can do, you know, you want stuff like that. And then I also have like things like skit rounds and stuff, which is why there's these trick tiles. When you skit rounds activated, they can get all of those things. I have things with damage amplifiers over here, which are my brain hurts now for trying to explain my own map, but the damage amplifiers make it so you can't kill the judge, and then pressing this button, which is only activated during the skit round, makes it so that then you can destroy builds, stuff like that. I've made some changes, so if you're watching this and you've already played this, That thing didn't used to be there. I made it very recently. I haven't done a fashion show since I made it. So yeah. I also added like kind of like race courses and stuff. You want UI messages for a fashion show map so people actually, you know, can understand you. Why is that? Just give me a sec. One thing with like very large memory maps, like as you can see, mine is basically out of memory. Sometimes items get removed and you can't figure out why. I have this ice because it's like basically you get to Tokyo Drift. So yeah, you can add, you should definitely add things like this, but be sparing on what you use because you don't want to run out of memory before you've done all those sections. So make the things that make the map work before you add the cosmetic and add the yeah, just, I think my party's in public. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you can just join. I'm currently in game. I need to switch that, just give me a sec. Why am I being called? Austin, just join Fortnite. Just join Fortnite.
Party's on public, just join. Yeah, I'm getting called now.
Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Options. Combat building tutorial. No. No. Is it voice? Oh, okay. Good. Okay, this house party thing. I think if I decide to do face reveal, from there on, anybody I'm playing with who's willing to, I'll do that house party thing with, so you guys can, you know, see your faces, cause yeah. And yeah, so it'd be great if I could. Also, one other thing about maps, if you plan on making them able to be you know, if you're planning on making them have like textures and stuff like this Art Deco thing, do that before you place the wood stuff or metal or whatever you're using, because then the devices you have placed on that wood, if you then remove the wood, you break the item and you have to replace it, which takes time, let me tell you. So make it out of whatever you plan on making it out of. Don't start with a normal building resource and then make it what you want. Just so you know. Also, if you're planning on making a fashion show map and and you're planning on doing it with just random people you don't really know that well, I would definitely suggest adding what did I just do? Oh, come on! Also, don't hit air vents if they're close to walls when the game's not started. That's why. But one thing you might want to add, which I added and I actually made it look better recently, is this. You don't have to make it like this, but it's basically a very damaging volume that then, let's say people are killing each other, stuff like that, you don't want them doing that. Button up in your like special judge area that no one else can enter. Once pressed, basically does this. And this thing kills on touch. I like doing these moving barriers instead of just normal ones because you get to hear them beg for mercy before they die. It's fun. Of course you don't program in a way to stop it because why would you? And if you're a judge and I'd suggest giving yourself as a judge a lot of health so that then when you're hit with the damage barrier you don't die. The reason I've added 2 of these is I have them set on very high damage instead of elimination so that they don't eliminate the judge. Things like that. I also actually have this thing that I don't really need anymore, but I've decided to leave it there. Channel 48. These things get activated at channel 40, right? Yep. Okay. I also have just a normal damage barrier, so if someone manages to escape this, they still die. This thing here also has a damage barrier, as you can see. This thing is for if you decide you don't like their combo. The party is on public! Oh yeah, I made it loop a couple of times. Okay. Hello! I think you guys already know I'm streaming, because I'm pretty sure both of you have been in the chat.
Duh.
Well, I know you have, Austin. Your name is in the... You're an animator?
What's up?
I'm sorry, you're an animator, Austin?
Yeah.
What?
Yo.
Hi.
I'm watching your stream right now on my other monitor. Alright,
Bro,
do you guys
like
want to
my
do a
combo?
quick game though?
Do you like my combo?
Yeah, it's pretty fire. Alright, now
There
can we play a
is
quick game?
audio on my stream, right?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know because I'm not watching my own stream, but there's audio on it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Alright,
I think I might.
I'm
Nah.
gonna do the random skin challenge, cause just for fun.
I changed the music, Austin. Do you think this sounds better or worse? I can't.
This one already sounds pretty good. Why do you want to change it?
It does sound good, but I'm seeing if there's something better.
Can't be something better. It's actually pretty fire. Alright, I'm trying
Okay,
to
yeah, I'll
find
keep
some...
it. I'll keep it. The Elec Groove.
Wait, Miles, would you let... Hold
Should
on,
I put
let me
music
just
on my
grab
zombies
Miles.
map?
No.
I
Should
can
you...
put, like,
should I
3
wear the skin
themes.
combo? You like
Um,
the skin combo?
I'm not looking.
Well, you're a bad cousin then.
I'm sorry, I'm in creative.
Get out of creative.
The whole point of this stream is creative.
Why did I join your party?
Because you asked.
Well, we should all play some, because like people who are watching streams like action and that
Sorry,
stuff.
this is a creative tutorial for people who actually want to learn something.
Can't they just Google that?
It's better to have visual because
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to learn with visual.
Maybe, but it would still be entertaining if you like bounce between both of them and like do a game. Then you could do some creative, then a game, make it more like entertaining, do multiple things, you know.
Ooh, ambient sounds. Ooh, that's gonna be good.
Alright, I'm doing the random skin challenge, honestly.
Wait, I need to turn up my FX. I want to be able to hear this, okay? Just give me a sec.
Oh, yeah.
Text me.
Floor is lava. I don't know if I am.
Oh, your floor is lava. Wait, is it? Wait, is it on right now? Is floor is lava ready right now?
No. I think it's at
It's in
7:30 or something.
7:30? What the crap? That's
It
stupid.
starts in 14 minutes.
Oh,
It starts at
14 minutes?
14 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay,
I don't know if
okay.
I want to do it because
I like this. I like this a lot. Sorry, I have ambient audio playing basically. And I think I'm gonna actually put a few with like ambient voices and wind and stuff in random places. 10, 20, 20. Yeah, 20. Wait, visualization? That's a thing? Wait, just give me a second. Gallery. Oh. Ah, that's what I was looking for my 1v1 map. Okay, whatever. It's good enough. Let me just add the fog and stuff back.
hold on, I'll be back.
I'm gonna make the light color red for like a red blood moon type of thing. Day 1 a.m. Is the moon red? Where's the moon? Where the frick is it? Damn it. You rarely ever see the moon in this game, so it's fine. I need more. I need more. Wait, I think I need to make it 70 so you can actually see the sentries of dead there. Okay. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna end this stream here because I've basically given you guys the best tutorial I can. And then I'm gonna start up one for the Floor is Lava tournament. So stick around.